Share mics. You did in the campaign.
They're all different frequencies, though, so they don't interfere with each other.
Okay, let's get the mics organized.
Hey, I wore a tie the other day.
So what are you trying to tell me?
It was hard for me.
Alright, hurry up.
Thank you, sir.
If you had a hand mic and a phone box, it could all plug in there.
There's a similar sense of loss of
All in your space, aren't we?
personal space. Yes.
Right. Wait till they start screening you at press conferences.
What they say, get used to it.
I am.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna get real personal here. I'm gonna
Going inside.
on your belt.
Okay.
At least I announced it first.
Good point.
And I'm gonna go all school.
Is Mark here?
I believe he'll be here in a minute or two. We have some handouts that we're waiting for. Good, how are you doing? Now that I'm all equipped. We're just waiting for some handouts to get here. I thought the press conference, the questions would be, I thought you'd prefer to have them before the questioning began. Okay. Where are those guys? I'll take a shot of water, thank you. No. Okay. Isn't it good? I'm not trying to create suspense. I'm just waiting for the handouts to come. It's really that simple.
Is this Mark Matas's fault?
You can blame Mark.
All right, I will.
But usually we blame in our office, we blame Aaron for everything. That's his designated role.
So we got a release from your office saying not to bring.
Sorry.
Sorry, no, that's all right.
Is everybody set? Everybody where they want to be?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll project this. Okay, I'll go there. Thank you. So, just a note before we start. We planned and committed to this press conference before knowing the scope of the tragedy in Haiti. So, we'd urge Seattle residents to be generous in their response to that tragedy, and we certainly don't want this press conference to distract from that. We'll be sending out a message to city employees pointing out how they can help with the situation in Haiti. We're here today to talk about the seawall on the waterfront. As you may recall, during the campaign, there was a video released pursuant to a public disclosure request, which showed what would happen in an earthquake. And one of the things that would happen in an earthquake is that the seawall would collapse, and the water would undermine the viaduct, and it would go back to the historical water line, causing a great degree of damage. One of the first things I did during transition was request a briefing on the seawall to find out what the state of the seawall is. And what I found is that what we've known since approximately 2001. The current plans call for replacing the seawall in 6 years. I don't believe that's acceptable. We need to move faster than that to replace the seawall. Dealing with a basic like this is one of the things I tried to highlight in my inaugural speech. We're going to focus on basics, and this is a public safety priority. At this point, it's also a city responsibility. State money, under the agreement, the memorandum of agreement reached between the city and the city has agreed that it will be responsible for replacement of the seawall. So we're going to step up to that responsibility here and move as quickly as we can to replace it. Just some background, and this is why this is here. The seawall was never designed to withstand an earthquake. It's a wooden structure that's designed to hold in place the building materials that were placed here to create the land we're standing on today. What we have found, it's supposed to be watertight, but seawater is seeped in. The wood that's back here has been gradually decayed. We dug test pits in 2002 and found that out. How big was this beam again?
12 by 14 inches by 40 feet long.
This was dug out of one of those pits. This is one of the pieces of wood that's holding the seawall together now. This was originally 12 inches by 14 inches by 40 feet long. This is what's left of that beam. They also did something where they took probes all along the waterfront and pushed the probe down to see if they would hit this solid wood that ties the seawall back into the dirt and holds it together. And what they found was, as they went along the length of it, the probe went deep. It went right through where that wooden platform's supposed to be. They've also found in places that what you call voids. Because it's deteriorated, it's actually a void down there, and the fill soil is just dropping out and presumably going out to sea. So this could give way even not in an earthquake. We could have a situation where the seawall gives way. So the current plan is to replace the seawall by 2016, and that's unacceptable. So as I said earlier, we're going to move to replace the seawall as quickly as possible. This is not about the viaduct, except as it relates to safety. We're putting aside, you guys are all well aware that I don't believe a tunnel's a good choice or even a new elevator's a good choice. But that's not what today's press conference is about. Today's press conference is how do we move quickly to respond to the public safety issues of having an unsafe viaduct, unsafe seawall that could collapse in an earthquake or even could just collapse due to decay. So I also want to say what's not in the project. This is not a project for a waterfront park. We will design the seawall in such a way that it's consistent with whatever designs come up with for a waterfront park. This is not to raise money for the viaduct and roadway replacements. That's a separate project. The cost of the seawall, or the cost of seawall replacement, the money we're going out to raise is approximately $241 million from the taxpayers of the city of Seattle. The tire project is $291 million, and in your packet that you'll see the entire financing plan. But the bulk of it is going to come from what we're proposing to do. We will submit to City Council within the next month a proposal to put a property tax measure on the ballot in May. That property tax would raise $241 million for a household, for a $400,000 house. That would be about $48 per year. We would use the revenues to go out into the bond market, get a 30-year bond, and we would pay back those bonds over 30 years time on the $241 million. This type of election would require a 60% majority from the citizens of Seattle. We are confident, given the public safety issues associated with this seawall, and the need to respond promptly and quickly to this issue, we will get support from the citizens of Seattle. So again, just to clarify, we're going to ask the citizens of Seattle to replace the seawall for safety reasons as soon as possible. By going out and getting that approval, we can compress the design phase and the construction phase and accomplish this faster than 6 years. Our goal is to accomplish it within 4 years, but we need to start now. We have known since 2001 that the seawall is unsafe. We have not taken actions to finance its replacement. Potential for catastrophe that could be caused by its loss. We are not waiting. We are acting now. Questions?
Mayor, the Speaker of the House won't say whether the tunnel will ultimately be built. Do you think the tunnel will be built?
This is about the seawall today, and issues around the viaduct, I'll be happy to address at another time.
Do you have any design plans yet, engineering done on what you plan to do or how you expect to facilitate this improvement?
Yeah, in your packet is a proposal as to how to do it, the technology used. Seawalls are not an experimental technology. There are known, there's kind of known ways to do seawalls, known from around the world, and we're using a known and stable technology to do it. I think, as we go out to bid, as we speak to other engineers, we may get refinements. As the design phase goes, there may be better ways to do it, but there is a basic approach that we're going to go out with that has been studied and worked on by SDOT over the years.
Ideally, what is 4 years, man?
What's that?
Ideally, what is 4 years, man? I mean, after May, you get the 60%, you get these bonds. When would construction begin, ideally?
The design phase in an ideal situation is its design, permitting, environmental review. We would hope to hold that to 2 years and then construction over 2 years, to complete 4 years. That's an ideal scenario. But again, the goal here is to move.
What kind of support do you have for this?
It's in your packet, the rest of the $50 million. $30 million is from the King County Flood Control District that we're seeking. And City of Seattle taxpayers pay into this King County Flood Control District. This is the only project in the City of Seattle that is eligible for those dollars. And we would seek that money. We've also built in, though, a 50% construction contingency as well on the base cost of the construction.
Does the situation in Haiti add sort of an urgent reminder of the urgency here?
I'm not going to link Haiti to this situation. I think the citizens of Seattle are well aware from our own history here in the region of the consequences of earthquakes, and we have heard on the campaign trail and we've heard out in public about the need to move on the public safety thing, on the public safety issues associated with this.
Do you have a sense of what kind of support?
May.
Do you have a sense of what kind of support you have from the council about this proposal?
We have spoken to the council about this to consider such measures and act deliberately on them. So I wouldn't speak for them.
How do you make the case to the public, given the current economic climate, to tax, to put out more money to tax themselves?
I think we speak about the basic public safety needs of replacing the seawall, and I think the citizens of Seattle over the years, in bad times and in good times, have responded to good investments in Seattle's future.
You have concerns about the safety of the seawall. Do you have the same concerns? We've heard from experts about the ultimate viaduct, the safety concerns there. Why is there no sense of urgency with that?
I do have the same concerns about the viaduct, and working on the seawall does remove one of the most serious risks to the viaduct. I do have a great sense of urgency about that as well.
Is this do for traffic here? Do you think you close all of the street? I mean, businesses here, how do you reach out to them to say, not on your own?
We will work with businesses, but we will also work as quickly as possible to complete the project. And I don't have kind of I can't brief you now with what the
But a major impact because you want to
reconstructing the seawall will be a major impact.
Are there any potential complications of building a seawall?
One second, John. Hold on, sorry. The physical design of the plan is the same. That we're proposing to use. By getting financing that, we could speed up design, permitting, and construction under the current plan, which would take 6 to 9 years. Dominic.
Do you foresee any potential complications of designing a seawall now that's not part of a comprehensive viaduct replacement plan?
The seawall is a standalone project. I believe everyone would agree it is a standalone project that needs to be addressed as a standalone project. That was the responsibility undertaken by the City Council in adopting the memorandum of understanding with the state. We have looked into that. We will continue to seek federal dollars if we can reduce the cost of Seattle taxpayers by seeking federal dollars for that. But my understanding is that the Texas and federal banks over the last number of years have not Okay. To finance it. We have to take care of our basic infrastructure in the city, and the seawall is a piece of basic infrastructure.
The state is saying construction costs down about 50%. Is that part of it? You can sell that to voters that this might be a cheaper project to do it faster.
We hope it would be a cheaper project if we did it faster. I mean, more than anticipated because there's not as much. We want to go to the voters as quickly as possible. What we might do in November, we're not and yeah, would work to be consistent with that. It would include the ability for salmon to migrate along the seawall, which is very important to the salmon going up into Amish and up from there. And that's built into any design, the salmon mitigation. We will work in the design phase with those who might want to bring the seawall back in places to see if there's opportunities for a more park-like setting on the waterfront. There are different opportunities out there, and we'll work with the design committee to do that. Although, again, I'm going to reiterate, the money we're raising is for the seawall. If there are specific improvements for parks, we'll raise those separately. Our goal would be to raise those separately.
So how long is the seawall?
3,500 feet.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Very good.
You have to say that.
I know.
No, she doesn't. Although she has to say it now.
Yeah, if it goes bad, then you have to get back to City Hall.
This is a 4 foot,
That's drift.
12 by
Looks
12
like
inch by 14 inch by 40 feet.
40 feet.
12 inch by 14 inch. Did you ride your bike here? Yes.
Yes.
Today, really?
Yes.
Well, yeah, I mean, is this an estimate that's a surprise to them? It's the project they were planning on doing, it just faster.
It's essentially yes. Yeah, we're not talking about it.
Base of the wall. So this was put in to keep the material from sliding out as the sheet pile corroded. So this is a piece off the face, and that's marine borers damage for the Ekiwood.
Thank you very much. I would say that was a very, very successful press conference. It was great.
Well, I think what people have to understand is that, I'm not president. Yeah, so people can pretty much write any crazy thing they want.
You have to run your bike in, and then during the day, are you going to schedule sessions for you guys to get a ride?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Just like when started the campaign. Absolutely. Sometimes Joe? At the school levy here. At the school levy kickoff, Joe was there. Which was interesting because I'd actually been thinking about Joe before then, thinking I should give him a call and see if he wants to have a cup of coffee. You know, I mean, an experience, we have a shared experience, and I think he genuinely cares about the city, and that's why I got in. And interestingly enough, so I saw him there, and I got off the stage and was walking straight toward him, and he came walking straight towards me and said, "Mike, can we have a cup of coffee sometime?" So it's kind of nice. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to Janet. Seeing what he's interested in.
I've got him showing a Google Earth where he's been, and he's been getting, seems to be getting involved.
That's why I say I think also the experience of running, changes one. I'm quite sure I know I'm a different person for the experience. I bet he's a different person too for the experience, and has different perspectives on how to engage and get involved. So I'm interested.
When something happened, are you there? Is the city in right now for any Obama stimulus applications on this project?
I'm going to need to double check that, but I don't believe there are any stimulus applications for this project. My guess is it's not far enough along design for those projects.
Is that an angle that you think your administration is going to pursue as it goes into its second week?
I think in any major project we would, seek help from other sources. This project will be no different.
Do you have any angels in Congress that have spoken with you about this, or that you think are approachable for some sort of federal bailout on this project?
We've been working to build relationships with the delegation, and I'm going to be going back actually to Washington, D.C. for the U.S. Conference of Mayors next week. We'll be meeting with more of the delegation. But I don't have nothing specific. I don't have a more specific answer than that.
Are you going to be actively involved in this, or are you going to leave it to this stuff?
Actively involved in what? Of course I'm actively involved in the project.
The diagram shows a sort of platform-like structure. Is that supposed to be to make way for a sidewalk or promenade of some kind in the drawing?
I think it's a little platform like that, isn't it? I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
Well, if you want to, do you want to follow up on that?
And talk with your engineering guys.
Or talk to Aaron. Give Aaron a call and just ask him to follow up on anything specific that I can't answer.
All right.
You have anything? I'm sorry, you looked expectant.
No.
You looked ready to go.
I like listening to Mike Lindley and ask questions that I don't know.
There you go. Okay, I think we're set.
You going to cycle that guy?
Yeah, I think so. Although I don't have the electric bike today, so there's a possibility I'll get on my bike and
The
walk it
gearing
up the
isn't
hill.
quite good enough for the...
The gearing is low enough, but the engine might not be. The engine might not be strong enough on this one.
The gearing is willing, but the engine is weak.
We'll see how strong the engine is.
So you're electric.
Now I can bike up there, but I might, I'm kind of. Yeah, I am a little bit of a social guy. I tell the people know that. Okay. Got it. I don't know. I actually don't know. This isn't really about buying a project. It's about the seawall. I mean, that's a great question. I mean, my position is really clear. I don't want to get. I do not want to get past the point of no return.
Sure.
Well, Seattle's at the risk of paying cost overruns. So is that point of no return coming up right after the session? I sure hope not.
It could.
I mean, I think that's one of the questions we're going to have to ask ourselves as we get there. But I think it also turns on. I mean, there are a number of timing issues that we need to know more about. We're waiting for more cost estimates. There's third parties have brought environmental complaints.
You don't reach the point of no return until 2011 anyway.
I don't know. It may be sooner than that, probably. I don't know. My answer to that is I don't know. It's kind of there are factors out there. They're asking for requests for qualifications right now. there's more engineering that's being done. All of these things, to me, tell me that whatever timeline they have right now is probably subject to change. See the mayor in 90 days. Yeah, I think that's about right. What's that? I look good or
It's just perfect timing. That was a wonderful press conference. That was just really good.
Justice people are leaving.
Yeah.
Relics on the radio on the way in. They're like, it's not going to start raining till this afternoon. It's my fault if everyone gets soaking wet.
It's so nice.